Hi again. Okay, so it's like a couple of seconds later. But I wanted to share with you something that happened to me on the morning of Yom Teruah, which was October 3rd. I live in the Denver, Colorado area. And so obviously we're 9 hours behind Jerusalem. And I'm very conscious of that whenever I talk about Jewish holidays. I want to make sure that I'm in sync with them rather than trying to force the word into what I want. Anyway, long story short, I wanted to share this with you because it was a very, very odd, but in a good way. So I'm just going to share it with you. So it was 4:15 in the morning. It was exactly 4:15 in the morning. I remember that. And this physical feeling came over my whole body. And from the inside out was one sensation, and from the outside in was a different sensation. From the inside out was this, it wasn't tingly like if your leg falls asleep or something. It wasn't like that. It was sparkly. You remember those sparklers on the 4th of July that you throw around when you're a kid? It felt like that, like crackly, sparkly. I got the sensation of gold and just glintery, and sparklers is like the perfect description of the sensation. And that was going from like the very marrow of every bone out. And it was a very bizarre, and it was everywhere from my head to my toe. And in every direction. So into the bed, into the ceiling, into the everywhere. At the exact same time, from the outside in, was this, it was like a heavy, constraining, it felt like when you go to the dentist or you go get an x-ray and they put that lead blanket on you, where, it's a heavy weight, but it's comfortable. It's kind of like just getting a great big hug or something. That's what it felt like all the way around my whole body. Everywhere that was sparkling also was being hugged in by this weight feeling. And it was an amazing sensation. It felt like my body was changing. And I'm thinking, oh, this is Yom Teruah, and my body's going through this metamorphosis. Hey, hallelujah, I get to go home. And it lasted for somewhere around 10 minutes or so, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It was a long amount of time, and I was expecting something to happen any second. And then it kind of started to fade. And at no time was it scary. At no time did I feel disappointment or fear or anything of a negative connotation in any way. It was all peaceful, beautiful, joyful. Even when it went away, even when it subsided, it didn't make me feel like, oh, darn it. It didn't do that. It was all just cool. And it caused me to feel like in a short, maybe it was an example of what's going to happen to us in the twinkling of an eye. That kind of metamorphosis that happened, it was a really cool feeling. It was amazing. And the whole rest of the day I was just on cloud nine. I was just rejoicing and felt amazing. It was really neat. And so I wanted to share that with you, and I meant to do it yesterday and I just didn't have the opportunity. It reminds me of, like, for instance, all of my friends in my prayer group, so many of them have heard a shofar blast. And some have even heard like bells, or they've heard choruses of angels singing, things like that. I think all of these things are valid, and that they are preparing us to take away that element of apprehension away from us, so that we feel comfortable. Because, the last time that we were put in a situation where we dwelt in one reality and anticipated a complete change of our whole life, our environment, our physical being, our everything, was when we were born. And that's kind of what we're going to be going through now. You know, when you're a baby in the womb, you have no concept, no idea what it's like to be in this other world outside of the womb. There's nothing there. You don't know that what is going to be expected. And fortunately, being so young, I think you don't know even to be afraid. But here we are, we're adults, and we have seen scary things in our life, scary things that take us by surprise. So I think the Lord is giving us opportunities to experience things like the shofar or the angels or this feeling, to just because He's kind. He's kind, and He's so merciful, and we have no concept, we have no idea how big that mercy is, how big that kindness is. You know, if we belong to Yeshua and He looks upon us, He sees us as favored children. And, you know, how do you act toward your children? And He's so much better. He's so much more perfect. He is perfect. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that was really amazing. And I just am convinced, I know, that when the time comes, it's going to be so amazing, so fun, so awe-inspiring. I hope that blesses your day. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.